Have you ever wondered what happens to the pelt trader? What happens to the furniture trader? And who are they? Where do they come from? And what about the three big enemies? Where do they come from? Why are they here? And so on. You may have many questions about those five people things. So, I have a theory. A big one. So, brace yourselves for this because I have a whole freaking theory behind the pelt trader, the furniture trader, the deer, the owl, and the ram. So, let's get started. A long time ago, there was a family of 6. Dino Kid, Koala Kid, Squid Kid, and Kraken Kid, with the 2 parents. Sorry about that cut off. So there was a family of 6, like I said, and they went to the forest for a little camping trip. They were literally not even in the middle yet. It was literally a few feet from the entrance. So they were like, this is literally the perfect place to camp. It's not far at all. So they were like, nothing can go wrong. We've been here so many times, nothing will go wrong. Nothing will. We're going to be totally fine. Then they were supposed to stay there for 2 days. So on day 1, at the afternoon and morning time, the dad and the 4 kids went hunting. They went hunting, they went fishing, they were exploring a little bit so that they don't go in the middle of the forest, and they obeyed their dad, and their dad was also pretty kind. So, guess what? Night came, and they were hungry, very, very hungry. They got some delicious food. They got fishes. They got a lot of different animal meat, which they're going to later cook. And then their mom was about to make a steak dinner for the night. The kids and the dad were very excited, so they headed back as soon as possible. As soon as the mom was about to make dinner, 3 strange travelers came. They said that we lost where we are and if they would mind settling in for the night. And then at first it would seem crazy that I don't know what you're talking about. We don't even know who you are. Like, where did you even come from? What's your name? Where you're from? Who are you? We don't know that. But their explanation was very detailed and good enough to convince them that they could stay there. So, after that convincing story, they said yes. Then they prepared steak dinner for everybody, for the 9 people that they're camping with. They set up tents and they went to sleep. After they went to sleep came the nighttime, 12 a.m. That's when the 3 cultists, who were actually the strange travelers, were actually in disguise. They took the 4 kids, hid them into secret bases all around the forest. They took the parents to this cage, the cultist stronghold, and they started doing these black magic stuff on them. They started doing this magic so that they could. This was step 1 and the most important step, to erase their memory so that they know nothing about the past and make them evil, make them on their side. And then they were trying to do that. That was step 1. They had to do that. There's no step 0.1. It was step 1. So, and it was also very important. So, they started doing that, but something was really wrong. The magic wouldn't work. And why? Because the parents loved their children so deeply and stayed against evil for so deeply, and they actually meant it, that no, we're not going to evil whenever, even if someone tries to hypnotize me. What? That's some crazy magic over there. But, of course, the cultists weren't that strong, so they went to sleep. And they were also informed that their head cultist would arrive tomorrow. The parents were terrified. Their eyes started bawling out, and they knew that they weren't going to last long. So they cried the whole night. Then, it was really early morning when they were slept in the cages. Someone came. And who was that someone? Us, the players. We came and we saved the parents, took them to our base, and stayed there for the night. That's where the cultists come and try to steal them, but they can't find what they need, so they get killed instead. So, the next day, you wake up to see the parents, give them food, ask them what happened, whatever. They're not there. They're gone. No one knows where they are. They tried finding them. They have no idea where they went. Zero. So, they feel very and extremely guilty and just continue with life. But until now, the present time, we know two people come in 99 Nights in the Forest, the furniture trader and the pelt trader. It turns out that they actually found where the kids were. They actually found what the cultists were doing. So, they can't really fight with you. They don't have any weapons. Well, they do. They traded to you. They want to help you. So that you can save their kids and you could be their heroes. And they were trying to find the exact same people, the people who rescued them, and they thought that it was everybody who played the game. So they helped. So they gave you in return a favor. They give you all these things to decorate your camp and use actually. So that's the story of the pelt trader and the furniture trader. And there's something who everybody fears. The deer, the owl, and the worst, the ram. Now, listen carefully. We do not know where they come from. We do not know where they live. We do not know their names. We do not know their backstory. But there is a very, very, very easy theory that literally makes perfect sense. It fits right in those puzzle pieces, the gaps of those puzzle pieces. Literally right in. Perfect puzzle match. Why am I referring so much to puzzle pieces? Okay, so listen up. You know how there are 4 kids? Dino Kid. Why is he called the Dino Kid? Because he has the dino hat. The Kraken Kid. Why? Because he has the Kraken hat. The Squid Kid because of the squid hat. And then the Koala Kid because of the koala hat. Right? I think we all know this by that time. But who are they all referred to? An animal. Why not the Pink Kid? Why not the Cherry Kid? Why not the Onomatopoeia Kid? I don't know. It's because they were all animals. And who else are animals? The deer, the owl, the ram. And then some other blah, blah, blah. The wolf, the alpha wolf, the bears, the mammoths, the horses, the bunnies, all that stuff. But they're the 3 main, so we're going to stick to them. So, they don't have any names. So they're referred as to the deer, the ram, the owl. Right? Right. So, let me tell you a backstory of the 3 main rivals or enemies or whatever you want to call them. So, we're going to call them the trio for now. So, we're going to say... Oh my god, what am I saying? So, when the Dino Kid... Why did the cultists want the Dino Kid? Why did they want the 4 kids in the first place? Doesn't make any sense. Well, it's because they wanted to turn those 3 kids into something big, something powerful, something that they could use to succeed. But they just couldn't see it. And what they were trying to make something that they made a long time ago. And it was a really big success. And what was that? The deer, the ram, and the owl. How did they make that? Let's go long ago. However long you want to call it. The cultists were alive. And then 3 kids came to camp. They didn't actually come to camp. They went just to explore the forest as kids. The cultists came, tried to trick them for a piece of candy, really classic, but you can do it whatever you want. Like, the cultists tricked them somehow and convinced them to come with them. Then what happened was that they locked them into cages, and they told them to do stuff for them, and their parents also came, but they captured their parents. And they kept on threatening the kids. If you don't do this, I will bleep your parents. If you don't do that, I will your parents. So, they obeyed. They deeply loved their parents. Oh, they obeyed. Then one day, the cultists had a great idea. They decided to turn them into something as a tool. So, because they were really obedient and great, they decided to turn them into And who were those 3 kids? The deer kid, the owl kid, and the ram kid. So, if the dino kid, the kraken kid, the squid, and the koala kid were not kids, they would be the dino in the game, the kraken in the game, the squid in the game, and the koala in the game. Makes perfect sense. So that's why they wanted to capture the kids. Because in the past, they made the kids into these rivalries, and they don't have to worry about the parents, because you know what they did to the parents, because they didn't care about them. They care about the kids. So, that's the theory. If you really think about it, it kind of makes perfect sense. So let me know your thoughts on this theory. And be sure to write your own theories in the comments, and do not be boring. Do not be boring. Being boring is boring, so do not be boring. Be yourself, and if you're boring, you're fun. If your personality is exciting and you're like, nah, I'm cool, I'm nonchalant, nah, I'm good, you're boring. Yeah, okay, I'm not going to get into that stuff. But anyways, bye, stay safe, and love you.